Alright, so the Vancouver Canucks wrap up preseason with a victory over the Edmonton Oilers, and after watching that game, I think it's pretty safe to say that the boys are dialed in and ready for the season to start. Listen, the boys didn't even ice out their whole lineup and still dominated this game. Look at who was out: Connor Garland, Dakota Joshua, Pius Suter, Thatcher Demko. The Oilers had their whole lineup, and yes, I do understand it's preseason, but I was very impressed with what I saw. A couple of guys fighting for jobs like Aman and Bains. The final cuts outside of camp are going to be made very soon, and I'm very excited to see what direction the coaches go. But you know what, if anything, it's a very good problem to have when you have a couple of players that are just on the cusp that you could argue could be in or out of the lineup, because it proves that your team has very good depth. And yeah, I gotta say, that forward core on the Vancouver Canucks is looking nice. But regardless, let's now jump into a quick recap on the game, talk about what happened, starting off with the first period of play. So early on in the hockey game, the Oilers are given 2 power plays, but the Canucks penalty kill shows up and kills both of them off. They looked solid off the hop. And then the Pettersson DeBrusk sprong line connects for a nice passing play here, but it's stopped by Skinner. I'm already liking this DeBrusk-Pettersson duo. Later, it's the Arshdeep Bains takeover. Nice pass in there to Aman. He can't get it. Bains gets the puck back, feeds it over to Quinn Hughes. Hughes with the shot and puts it by Skinner to give the Canucks the 1-0 lead. Hey man, Arshdeep Bains is fighting for a spot. He's doing everything he possibly can to stay with the big club. Later, it's the Canucks once more, the link up between Pettersson and DeBrusk over to Carson Soucy, and he fires it by Stuart Skinner. 2-0 for the Canucks at the break. In the second period, the Canucks get themselves a power play, and it's the second power play unit that goes to work here. It's sprong over to Höglander, over to Heinen, and then it's Arshdeep Bains once again to put it in the open side. 3-0 Canucks, and with that goal, Arshdeep Bains might have just won himself a spot on the opening night roster. We'll see what happens. I still want it to be Aatu, but you can't deny Arshdeep Bains is playing well. Later on, Darnell Nurse pulls this stupid shit out of nowhere. I mean, come on, man. It's preseason and he's pulling hits like this. I mean, come on, man. No one likes this guy. I don't even think Oilers fans respect this guy. He's just a clown, but it is what it is. 4-on-4 later on, and the Oilers get themselves on the board. It's a nice shot here from Evan Bouchard. Gets it by Silovs, and he makes the score 3-1. In the third period, it's the Oilers who try and tie this game up here. Draisaitl with a chance gets stopped by Silovs, and Silovs ends up stopping every single shot that comes his way for the rest of the game. He's looking very poised ahead of the season opener. Late in the game, JT Miller misses a shot, and then Quinn Hughes shows off his skating ability, cuts down the side, and then in front, but he's stopped by Stuart Skinner. It was a nice look regardless. And then look at that, once more, it's the DeBrusk to Pettersson duo. I know it was an empty netter, but it doesn't matter how you score them. 4-1 Canucks, they take this one and wrap up preseason pretty well. You know, this is the first time in a long time that I've seen such a competitive preseason atmosphere. It feels like in years previous, you kind of knew who was going to be in and out of the lineup, and it wasn't all that exciting because going into the season, the expectation was normally quite low. Even last year, I know the Vancouver Canucks had a fantastic year, but I'm certain that very few people actually saw that success coming, especially to the degree that it did. I mean, winning the division and getting to the second round of the playoffs after being ranked like 25th on the official NHL power rankings, that's just absurd. But going into this year, it's different. I mean, we had the bar, tons of players coming off of career years, so the expectation is there. And with the additions that the Vancouver Canucks made in the offseason, it really increased our depth, especially on the forward core. And you have 3 players that I feel like are just on the cusp here. Not all of them will make it, but I imagine 1 or 2 of these guys is going to get cut. They've all showed well. Those players are Nils, Aman, Arshdeep Bains, and Aatu Raty. My question to you in the comment section down below: who do you want to see on the Canucks opening night roster, and who do you think deserves to make that opening night roster the most? Personally, I still think it's Raty. I know he didn't have his best game last night, but regardless, he is still probably my favorite of the 3. I like Aman as well. Bains is not a guy that I envisioned to be on the opening night roster, but as I mentioned in this video, he has done literally everything he can to give himself that opportunity. So it's made it a very tough decision for the coaches, I'm sure, and they're going to deliberate over the next couple of days. Going to be an interesting decision, but regardless, I'm sure that they'll make the right one. But yeah, that's all for me in this video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be sure to catch you on the next one. Peace out, and take care.